Hey everyone, my name is Amina and welcome to this channel. Welcome to this video if you are new here. I'm very quickly approaching a new year, a new decade, 2020, and I know that a lot of people are thinking about how to reset their life. One of my main goals for 2019 was to stop wasting time and to cut down the amount of time that I spend procrastinating, to be more aware and to be more conscious of the way that I spend my time. And in order to do this, I used quite a few different techniques throughout the year to find that place that allows me to not only be productive and efficient but also enjoy what I'm doing, to also help me minimize the amount of time that I waste. One thing that you absolutely have to master is how to not waste your time and how to use your time efficiently and how to be productive. I'm going to be basing a lot of my tips that I give you not only on my own experience but also on research, because I think it is important to back up what I'm saying with research and with evidence. First thing is to switch off your phone or turn off all notifications. Now I have no notifications turned on my phone. What it means is that I am more focused in the moment regardless of what it is that I am doing. It really means that you are dictating how you spend your time. You have control of that. The phone, your notifications are not controlling the way that you spend your time and how focused you can be during any particular moment in your day. In fact, research shows that if you are distracted by something, your attention is taken away by something, even for such a short period of time, it can delay your ability to restart that task again for up to 30 minutes. This can end up wasting hours and hours of your time in a week or in a month. So notifications turned off is definitely a good idea. Learn whilst doing something else. So learning while not actively trying to learn. So for example, whilst getting ready, whilst getting changed, whilst in the shower, doing the dishes, instead of just listening to music or just not listening to anything, why not put on a podcast? Why not put on some other sort of video or audio where you can listen to something and learn at the same time? And one particular platform that I love for this and I highly recommend, and I've recommended here before, is Skillshare, and this part of the video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is a platform whereby you are able to watch and learn almost anything from illustration, design, animation, managing your finances, branding. Right now I am enjoying a calligraphy class, and one of the things that I want to do in 2020 is build on a few different skills. Last year I decided to go horse riding, and that was something that I learnt in 2019. I mean this year, 2019. Whereas next year in 2020 I hope to build on my calligraphy skills in particular, and I have bought myself a whole calligraphy set. And there's this really cool 10-day challenge where you have to do something for 10 minutes every single day, and I found that it's kind of kept me on my toes. They're offering you guys 2 months for free to be able to subscribe and watch some of the videos, and even after you finish your 2-month membership, it's only less than $10 a month. $10, which is, I don't know how many pounds, like £7 or something a month, for unlimited, pretty much an unlimited number of videos. So I definitely recommend you guys to click on that link, which will be down in the description bar, and join and sign up and let me know how it goes. The third tip that I've done very recently actually is to create a distraction to-do list. Now I've never heard of this before, and my husband introduced it to me just the other day. I found it very intriguing because it's a to-do list that you plan to do when you get distracted. So times when, for example, you might be sitting down ready to write an essay, ready to do something productive, and you find yourself kind of itching to do something else, or you're getting distracted, or you're on your phone. Instead of just mindlessly browsing or staring into thin air, you could just get up, look at that to-do list and do something on that to-do list. So this is usually those menial tasks that need to be completed. Things like doing the hoovering, doing the dishes, folding the laundry up, or something like that. Something where you only need 5 or 10 minutes to do it, and doing it does mean that you are able to gain some sort of satisfactory feeling from it. So something that I did yesterday actually is I was meaning to edit a video, and I just kept on getting distracted by Instagram and YouTube, and I was just not in that mind space. I said to myself, right, let's go and look at your to-do list, your distraction to-do list, and on there I had to hoover the house. So I got up, hoovered the whole house. It took me about 10 minutes to do, and I felt so much better after doing it. I felt accomplished, and then I was able to go and edit, and I edited it, you know, as efficiently as I would have done any other day. Next tip that I would recommend is to use a 2-minute rule, which is actually based off of Newton's law of productivity. And what this law states is that if you spend 2 minutes doing any task, you're more likely to continue on with it. And I am such a strong believer of this, and I've been preaching this for so many years to friends and family and anyone that would listen, pretty much, that just begin the task. Promise yourself that you're going to do 2 minutes of that task and time it. Put 2 minutes on the timer, sit there and do 2 minutes. You're more likely to continue on with that task than you are to stop, purely because you've realized that actually in 2 minutes I've done this much, and you're kind of in that zone and you've built that momentum. Actually, research shows that by doing small tasks, you're more likely to feel that satisfaction, and then you're more likely to then go and do even more tasks. And so those small tasks lead to and build up towards you doing more and achieving more. So start from somewhere. Doing 2 minutes of something is better than doing no minutes of it. To-do lists are not just the brain dump of everything that you need to do. We're going to talk a bit more about to-do lists in future videos, but I think we're so used to writing to-do lists based on everything that we need to do, and then we just get started on the easiest thing and we never actually get to that thing that we need to do. So when you do write to-do lists, make sure that you are writing them in kind of like a priority list. So what is the highest priority? What has the highest importance? And then you want to go on to do the next most important thing, and then keep going until you've done the least important thing. What you should be doing first is the most important thing, which is usually the thing that we don't want to do. And it's usually what we leave to the last minute. We then end up panicking, and we then end up in a situation where we've wasted time, haven't actually done what's important, and really the to-do list has been a bit of a waste of time. So something that I do is I write a to-do list. I just put everything down in no order, and then I would go through that list and I'll check to see what the priority is on that list, and I'll number them. So I'll write down 1 for the most important thing, 2, 3, 4, and then I try my best. It doesn't always go to plan, but I try my best to go in the order of the numbered system and the numbered list, just because this means that I'm more likely to be satisfied with what I've done, even if I don't get to the end, purely because I've done the most important thing first. And again, research shows that multitasking and trying to do 2 or 3 things at the same time is not efficient, which means that you're decreasing the ability to think analytically, you're decreasing your ability to be able to actually complete a task to a high standard and a high level. Your mind is going from here to there. So stick to one task, know what you need to do for that task, and get on with that task alone. Next tip is to reflect often. Now, we usually hear the word reflection and to reflect on oneself at the end of a year or the end of a month or the end of some sort of time, like long-term time frame. But actually, I find myself reflecting after every hour. What have I done so far this morning? What have I done this afternoon? Do I feel like I've been productive enough? If not, how am I going to change things in the next hour? You don't have to wait for a whole 365 days to go past to reflect upon what you've done. You should be reflecting on a frequent and a very regular basis. Otherwise, you end up spending lots of time, wasting time, and not actually improving or iterating that process in order to get better. So what I recommend is to give yourself short deadlines. So tell yourself, right, this morning I'm going to do X, Y, Z, has to be done by 12 o'clock. And at 12 o'clock, check what you've done and reflect upon it and say, well, actually, I haven't met my deadline. So just have that kind of process where you're constantly reflecting on your behavior and on your actions in order to get better within just a few hours. So I'm talking short term. Next tip is that preparation is key. And I think this kind of ties in quite a lot with planning, because if you don't know what you're going to do, then you don't know what you need to be able to do it. So really making sure that you know what it is that you need to do and know what it is that you need for that particular project. And lastly, really try to find what works for you. Now, what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you. What works for you today might not work for you next week. One thing that I find is that I work a lot better in the mornings, so I wake up super early, like 5 or usually 6 a.m. is when I would wake up and get something done before I start the day. I know that I work better at that time. There's less distractions, I'm more focused, and I've woken up early. I've sacrificed sleep, so I'm not going to waste time, scrolling on Instagram or just watching TV. I'm definitely going to use that time efficiently and effectively. Are you someone that works better in the library or a study or in a workspace where there's other people that are working as well? Find what works for you. Do you like to listen to white noise? Do you like to do kind of long stretches of 5 or 6 hours of work? Are you someone that enjoys sort of short bursts of work? I hope this video was useful for anyone that's thinking about how to change their ways or build new habits for the new year. This is a time to reflect upon ourselves, a time to reflect upon what we've done so far and where we want to be next year. So if this is something that was helpful to you, then don't forget to leave me a comment down below and let me know which tip in particular you are going to try to implement into your routine in 2020. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.